interesting. Absolutely inspirational, funny, and what a great story.
Rick Charlesworth was absolutely inspirational.
I really enjoyed watching Ando.
G'day, I've just come out from Sam Cawthorn's presentation. Absolutely fantastic, really motivational.
I will get myself up after 5 o'clock in the morning, often earlier when others still deep asleep. Strap heavy sandbags on both my ankles, hold one leg up and down on 4 levels of stairs. For my turns, I will sneak away into a dark ballet studio after 9 o'clock at night when all the lights went pitch black throughout the academy. I didn't want to turn on the light, being discovered, sent back to bed. I would light this candle. In front of this little candle light, I kept on spinning and turning. Fell down and get up. I was determined. If I could turn with darkness around me, then I could eventually turn brilliantly on stage.
Financial liberalisation and innovation and low nominal interest rates mean it's just easier for people to carry more debt now. And the housing is what they use the debt to purchase. Now, for any one individual, of course, they would say, well, I've got to take on more debt. Look at house prices. But when everybody can take on more debt, that's what drives house prices up. So I don't think Australian housing is in a bubble, and I think house prices will be higher a year from now, perhaps not demonstrably, perhaps not massively so.
And today, word of mouth is more important than it's ever been. You know, we've got Nielsen saying that 91% of purchases are based on friend recommendations. 91% on friend recommendations. That means we need to create pass-onable stories, which is the other point. Create pass-onable stories. We used to think in marketing in terms of frequency, how many ad spaces, how many impressions we could buy. We now think in terms of pass-onability, how much your message can be passed on from one friend to another.
Power is shifting from the hands of corporations to the hands of individuals. Corporations' biggest threat today is not other corporations, it's the competition that groups of individuals can now challenge to their model. Square is a company that Jack Dorsey started. Now, Jack Dorsey is famous for starting Twitter. What he's done is put a device on an iPhone that basically turns any iPhone into a credit card processing machine. Now, this technology has only been going for 18 months. This year, $8 billion will go through Square credit payment processing. Now, so that's just a few examples. Now let's look at the area of personal loans. How many of you would lend money to a total stranger? None of you. Okay. All right. Now, this is the basis behind a new area called social lending. Zopa is eBay meets the bonds market. So it's eBay that it matches borrowers and lenders directly with each other. And it's like the bonds market where you actually have a lot of information about the person that you're lending to.
The original research in this area was done by a guy called Ericsson in 1992. There's a lot of books written about it now. They talk about 10,000 hours to be an expert, whether you're playing chess, kicking a footy, playing a musical instrument, doing mathematical problems. You better spend time on it if you want to be good at it. You want to be really good at it. And we understand that. Not only have you got to get a lot of feedback and do a lot of repetition, you've then got to try and do things that you couldn't do before. You've got to make it more difficult. And then you've got to do it in a competitive environment. So that's the stuff that I think you need to do if you want to be really good. If you want to keep adding value to your organisation, then every day is a coaching day. Every situation at work is a coaching situation.
My father's got this Vietnamese saying. Loosely translated, it goes something like this. There's only 2 times in life. There's now and there's too late. That's Dad's philosophy. Give it a crack and see what happens, kids.
But sometimes things in our life don't really go according to plan. And as I said at the start, we can plan our life to go in one direction, but life situations, life circumstances will take us in a complete different direction. And yes, there is a time for trauma. Yes, there's a time for sadness. Yes, there is a time for grieving. But there's also a time for us to pick ourselves up and continue to move forward no matter what. So I wanted to ask you a question. What was your Kairos moment? What was that moment within a moment that had drastic change in your life? And tell me something. Did you bounce back from that? Or did you actually bounce forward?